Hi everybody, welcome to this edition, I guess, or this video of question and answer videos. It's been 2 weeks, so lots of questions this time. I said if you guys want them to continue, I need questions, and you guys gave me questions, so they'll continue. There's enough that maybe we could start going back to every week. It's just up to you guys. It's not up to me. I hope you guys understand that, and you don't get upset with me. I can't make question and answer videos without questions. I can't do just answers. So thanks for participating. Thanks for asking me questions. So I like to recommend something every single week due to just finding ourselves, being better people, healing from trauma, recovering, better sleep, whatever it may be, a book, supplements. This week, I'm just going to go over a few ways to remove toxins from your body. If we've experienced trauma, if we have depression, anxiety, maybe you have addictions, maybe you're not eating. Sorry, I'm fixing the camera. It's just off a little bit, I hit it. Maybe you have addictions, maybe you're just depressed, anxiety, you have, whatever, in toxic environments. It creates toxins in our body. Emotions are our body doing things, and we can locate exactly where different emotions are in our body. For instance, depression and happiness lay in our gut. Okay, so here's a couple of things that we can do. Exercise. Exercise is a great way to remove toxins from your body, and it exits your body when you sweat and when we go to the bathroom and stuff like this, but not too much. If we're suffering from anxiety, if we're suffering from trauma, CPTSD, things like this, we don't want to overexert ourselves. We might have fatigue, and that means you only have a certain amount of energy. You do not want to waste it. You do not want to overexert yourself and work out, exercise too much. It will make things worse. It'll release more cortisol in your body, and it will make you feel more anxious and stuff like this. Okay, so we want to really be careful and monitor what we do every day, but we have to raise our heart rate every single day. Have to. So exercise is a great way to do that. We don't want to exercise at night too, guys. Like I said, it could raise cortisol levels and keep you from sleeping if we work out too late at night. But just raise your heart rate. One thing I always recommend to you guys is what I call air boxing. We know how to box and just pretend you're boxing. This is something, the reason I recommend it so much is so you don't have to commit to a gym, to running for an hour, all these things that take time and commitment. You can stand up from your desk, from your couch, from wherever you are, and you could stand up and air box, and you'll feel 30 seconds, a minute for sure, and your heart rate is raised, and you can tell by your breathing. We can walk. We can walk stairs, up and down stairs real quick. Jumping jacks, right? Run in place. There are some foods that can help raise our heart rate. We want to be careful that these foods don't make us more anxious. Spicy food is really good. It'll help raise your heart rate. Caffeine does that, but do not take caffeine if you're having trouble sleeping. Caffeine can stay in your body up to like 15 hours, so be careful if you're consuming coffee and you can't sleep at night. Some people say, yes, I just drink 1 or 2 cups, and then it turns out that they drink 1 or 2 cups at 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, and then they try to go to bed 6 hours later. Detox kits. Things that we can take that detox our body from toxins. I recommend a colon cleanse to almost all my clients for one reason or another, whether it's addictions, we want to restart our life, we have depression, kind of a new beginning. It's a great thing to do for a new beginning for something. Heat. I know so many people in North America, at least, love air conditioning. They love cold. They want it cold all the time. I think, seriously, most of the people I meet, I think they'd be happy if it was like in the 40s, 40 degrees every day. They say they love cold, and then they put on tons of clothes. So I think they just love to wear clothes. Lots of them. But heat will help. Okay, lower that air conditioning if you have any heat left outside, and raise the heat in your house. Okay, it helps your heart rate rise. And cold showers. I cannot recommend cold showers enough. You guys go, oh God, cold showers right away, right? They're incredible. Once you get used to them, it's all you want. They're so good, and a good way to start is by cold face baths. It'll be shocking if you're saying, I don't want anyone to shock themselves. You can ease into any of this. But start with cold water, then get to ice water. You can keep a Tupperware of water in your fridge that's close to freezing. Okay? And in your face. You'll see after you do that enough, it's incredible. It feels great. You'll want to do it every day. And then you might ease into showers easier that way. That'll help raise your heart rate. Great way to start the day. Okay, that's it. Anybody else has recommendations on how to raise your heart rate, please let us know. Thank you. Let's get into the questions. Dun, dun, dun. First one is from, I'm going to say Lynn. It's a Lynn Vincent, I think. So Lynn, hi Lynn. And you guys, please let us know where you're from. Tell us your locations if you don't mind. If you're worried about it, just be general. Planet Earth, Western Hemisphere, continent, country, state, city. Right? Could you do that? That'd be great. I think most of us really like that. What you are saying is so profound to me because I was mocked for using I statements or ever trying to exert boundaries or explain my feelings. 20-year marriage relationship. Sad, Lynn. These are forms of dehumanization. And this is common in today's Q&A. Well, from last Q&A, I'm reading everyone's questions from. And, oh, that reminds me real quick. Sorry, Lynn, just real quick. I get people asking me Q&A questions on my website. Bizarre. I truly think that's weird. I have a question answer video. It's right there. I answer questions in every video. You can just ask me on the video. You don't have to approach me by my website. They tell me, yes, David, I'd love coaching, but can you answer this question first? And I say, well, let's do coaching first. And I don't hear from them again. So just ask questions in the comment section right down below, and I'll answer it next time. On any video, I'll answer your questions. So Lynn, 20-year marriage relationship where you were mocked if you even used an I statement. I this, I feel this, I want this, can I? Amazing. Amazing. And that's what I was talking about in the last videos. I statements. These are forms of dehumanization, objectification, where you don't have feelings, you don't have wants and needs, doesn't care, doesn't listen to him, mocks you, makes fun of you, shut up. You shouldn't feel that way. It's stupid to feel that way, right? All that is objectification. Yes, from your mom and dad too. Yes, that's where it started. Thanks for your comment, Lynn. I'm sorry. I'm glad the marriage has ended. So that stuff has stopped, and find people that believe that we're equal. Okay. Megan from Nebraska. Hi, Megan. I have a question about intuition. How can we tell the difference between our intuition and our fears of abandonment? Often when I start dating, I have anxiety come up, and I can't tell the difference between my fears or if it just doesn't feel right. It's so hard to trust ourselves when we weren't validated as children in toxic homes, and we still need to be validated. And the reason that was hard when you weren't validated is because you weren't communicating. You weren't talking with your parents about stuff like this. And so that's what we need to do. We need to talk, Megan. Talk to somebody about this and bounce the stuff off of somebody, a friend, a family member, or hire someone. The difference between intuition and your fear of abandonment. Your intuition is guided by your fear of abandonment. It's a part of it, isn't it? Your intuition trying to foreshadow the future and what might happen. Well, we can't really do that. But what we can do is start to know ourselves better and understand our feelings more. So there's a big difference between anxiety and fear, isn't there? And one way to start is where are those in your body? Yeah, we can feel fear all over my arms and my hair stands up, right? Anxiety seems to be right here. Anxiety, as you start to process both fear and anxiety, you'll see there might not be a source of anxiety. Your fear is a source from your past experiences. So, Megan, we talk about this, and we talk about this with the person that's causing this, or the relationship, the experience, the time, the moment. You tell them, if we have such fear of abandonment and we're trying to date, and that's coming into play right away as we're dating, we may not be ready to date yet. Only you know that. I'm just saying it might be a possibility. If you tell the person, what is causing you anxiety, when we process emotions, we need to know the source of these. And if you do that, and you can say, if you can find out what might be causing this, what's causing anxiety, what's this person doing that's causing me anxiety? Can you do that, Megan? And then maybe that'll help you tell them what they're doing might be causing you anxiety. Fear of abandonment typically doesn't come into play until we at least attach to somebody. I mean, I don't know when you're having these feelings of abandonment or these fears. Um, you said often when I start dating, I have anxiety come up and I can't tell the difference between my fears or if it just doesn't feel right. And you need to explore that, Megan. You know, I can't tell you what you're feeling. Um, but fears of abandonment right when we start dating somebody, that's not very common. I don't know if you're having fears of abandonment just the second we start dating somebody. Um, that usually surfaces later as we attach to somebody. Doesn't mean it is for you. Um, you know, you might have other fears that this person is toxic, going to hurt you, going to abuse you like other people have. Might be some trust issues. Yeah. The only way we can trust somebody is trust them. You have to be willing to. We start with trust. People that say trust is earned is ridiculous. How if I don't know you, how am I going to earn your trust? What do I have to do? No. We start with trust, and if we can't, there's something wrong with us. Most people can be somewhat trusted. And you're saying, no, they can't. That's your experiences. Find out why you're around people that can't be trusted so much in your life. Okay? The difference between intuition and fear. Intuition, I think, is something that you're foreseeing, trying to. Hypervigilance, yeah. Our fears tend to get the best of us. Fears can turn into phobias when unchecked, when not processed. It's amazing how many times somebody tells me they're afraid, and then we find out they're not by just talking about it. Something that we can do for ourselves and process these emotions. What is it? Describe what my emotion is. Where is it on my body? What does it feel like? What do I call it? What's the feeling? What's the source? Why do I feel anxious? Do I know? Why am I feeling fear right now? What am I afraid of? What's causing this? Can we know? And then is there something I can do about it? Usually there is. Sometimes there's not, and if not, we throw it away. Okay? That's just a basic processing emotions. Try doing this with your emotions, Megan, and start talking about them more. A lot of times I'll get people when I think it's needed. I'll get them on like a feeling chart, emotional chart, and we just do that on a piece of paper. And if you can do that one every day, you'll have a whole list of all these different emotions and what they're normally caused by and what you did to make it feel better. And we just go from left to right, and we just describe the emotion, our body, where it is, what it's doing. What do we call that feeling? What's the source? If we know, is there something we can do about it? What did we do about it? No, there's nothing we can do about it. We accept it. And walk away, right? Try to accept it. Maybe that will start helping you when you're around other people. But communicate, Megan. So communicate with the person that's doing this, that's causing this, and talk about it with somebody afterwards. There might be some more healing necessary, Megan. Okay? Thank you very much. Good to see you again. George. I forgot where you're from, George. Let us know if you can next time. Hi. You have been with me for over 3 years now. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but always good to hear your voice on the way to work. It is incredibly valuable for me and my healing. Best wishes for you and your family. Thank you, George, very much. Thank you very much. It's good to see you. Lynn again. From Massachusetts. You told us this time. Thank you, Lynn. From Boston, Mass. I made a list of A, needs being met in my relationship, and B, needs not being met, and I had nothing in list A and a long list on B. Yet, I am having such a hard time divorcing him. He moved across the country more than 2 years ago. He left me like I was worth nothing. I feel stuck. What's my problem? I love him, but doesn't seem he loves me. Surely doesn't value me. I appreciate you. Your vids help me. Thank you, Lynn. You're really sweet. I'm really sorry what you're experiencing right now with your partner for life. So you made a commitment to be with him for life, and I know you're trying to honor that commitment. But it takes two, Lynn, and he's not committed to your marriage anymore. He gave up a long time ago. Okay? Just by what you're telling me. I'm not saying I know him, just what you're saying means it's over. I'm sorry. You said, what's wrong with you? Nothing. You feel bad. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with you, okay? Somebody treats us bad long enough, we feel bad long enough. Someone tells us we're bad long enough, and we believe we're bad people. We believe we're broken, can't be fixed, unlovable. None of it's true. We all heal from this, everyone. Everyone can heal from trauma and pain, and suffering, loss, grieving. Hire someone, Lynn. We all need help. Show me someone that doesn't need any help, and I'll show you someone who's absolutely delusional with their head far up their ass. Okay? We all need help. I need help. You need help. It's just a matter of when you believe you're worthy of that help, you will get it. Okay? You look very young. There's a beautiful life ahead of you when you're ready for it, okay? It's just a matter of you, Lynn. All right? I'm really sorry that he doesn't want this marriage anymore, doesn't want you in his life anymore. We have to accept that. We have to accept what we cannot control, okay? But there's a lot that you can control, a lot of decisions, a lot of opportunities you have now. It just doesn't feel like it. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, okay? Lots of help out there available for you, Lynn. You're worth it. So why don't you show yourself and show the universe you're worth it. Hire it. Talk to somebody. Just talk. I'm not saying take drugs. I'm not saying go check yourself in somewhere. Just talk to somebody. It helps us. People cause this. People will help this, I promise. Okay, Lynn? You're okay. The longer you do this, the harder it gets to get out of it. Okay? You might have some depression. You might not be fully aware of what's going on. You said you love this man. I wonder if you still do. Okay? You can't love how he's treating you, and I don't think you love who he is anymore. Start to question what it is that you think you love. Okay? But this helps by talking to somebody. Whatever you do, Lynn, don't do this alone. I guarantee you these 2 years, and you want to know what's wrong, it's because you've been doing this alone. We're too social creatures. We have too many. Your emotional needs, it can't be met with nobody around you. So it can be even more suffering. Yeah. Just talk to somebody, Lynn. That's all you need to do. Thank you. And Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. My husband used to close his eyes when he was lying. Just like a little kid that closes his eyes thinking you won't see him doing something he shouldn't. Have you noticed that, narcissists? I would close my eyes and wait for my answer. Oh no. Well, open them back up, Rory. Sorry you had to keep them closed for 13 days. That's funny, man. Aren't they funny? Kids are funny, aren't they? And when adults act like kids, sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's disgusting. It's appalling. It's scary. But that is just hilarious. Compulsive liars are amazing. I couldn't imagine. I have no idea what that's like. Sure, I've lied in my life, but the compulsive lying about nothing, about everything, you just have no idea who you are. You're very out of touch with reality. But, yeah, I swear I didn't do it ever. Another one liars will do is up into the corner. No, I didn't do it. Believe it or not, when they're telling you a really bad lie, they'll stare at you in the eyes like this. Because they want to know if you're believing it. Yeah, and so I swear she told me she liked me. I didn't say anything. Sit there and just, do you believe it? Do you buy it? They'll do that too. It's just so immature. God, it's so grotesque to see adults act like children, isn't it? Temper tantrums. Yeah, he closed his eyes, thinking you won't see him doing something he shouldn't. Yeah, a lot of people get really still when they're really scared. Because the thing about lying, for almost everybody except like psychopaths, it makes us nervous, okay? Even compulsive liars, they get more used to it, so they get less and less nervous. But when you start drilling somebody, especially somebody has something to lose, like your husband, you might leave him, and I don't care if they act like, oh, I don't want to be anything to do with you. That's why you've been saying that for 15 years. Yeah, that's why you're still here, still with me. But you start drilling a liar, and they will start getting more nervous. And these are the things that we do when we get nervous, right? He closes his eyes. Somebody starts shouting, yeah, usually our voice is good. No, I didn't do that. Our voice gets high. because our throat starts doing that, and it'll start drying up. People start coughing when they're lying to you because their throat starts drying up. It's all nervous reactions. It's all cortisol and adrenaline. They'll start moving, changing their anchor points. Yeah. There's one thing we all do that when we're telling the truth and someone doesn't believe us or we get accused of lying, we get angry. It's amazing how many compulsive liars don't get angry as you sit there and tell them how such liars they are. No, I'm not. Nuh-uh. Thanks for sharing, Rory. Oh, you're not done. Do you think in the beginning we should ask what a relationship looks like to them? Well, yeah, why not? I've said that. If looking for commitment, long-term, etc. If you're on the same page and looking for the same things, that would be a plus. And if they're telling the truth and if they're aware of who they are. Right? Meaning, I could, here's a common one with toxic manipulators. Loyalty, man. Loyalty is the most important thing to me ever. I saw people that get loyalty tattooed on them. Loyalty right here. Yeah, and they're just completely disloyal. They talk bad about everybody, say every secret, cheat on you, take from you, steal from you, give it to somebody else. I mean, just the most disloyal people you'll ever meet. Right? But they'll tell you, I value loyalty. And they're not loyal. They just value your loyalty. So they don't really value loyalty. They value objects and people that serve them. Right. That's it. Not I'm loyal. I value loyalty. So you have somebody telling you who they are. Yeah, I really want a long distance relationship. There's nothing more that I want or nothing less but children. I really want children. I want to be a father so bad. And they may think this, but they'll do and take every measure to make sure that they're never a father. It's just conscious, subconscious. So then you got liars and manipulators, right? No, I don't want to just sleep with you tonight. I want to sleep with you forever, but we should start tonight. Why not? If we're going to have sex forever, why don't we do it now? It's too soon if we're going to be together forever, right? So a lot of things to work with here. Best thing you could ever do is just take your time. Relationships aren't about the finish line. It's the journey. It's getting to know people. Say, would you go to a movie if you could just program the movie right into your brain real quick and say, oh, you watched it, would you? Would you just go, oh, I want to see that one? Boom, got it. See that one? Boom, it's in me. Oh, I know what this one's about now. I know what this is. No, it's about watching the movie, right? Take your time. Watch the movie. Take at least an hour and a half to get to know someone. Thanks, Rory, again. And Tara. Tara from the northwestern part of Montana. Why do narcs ask questions always expecting answers, but then when they're asked questions, they either don't answer them or give cryptic answers that have to be deciphered? I knew that's where this is going, and I can't stand it. So you have somebody who's poor at communicating, and you have somebody who's entitled and grandiose and sees you as an object. That's why, Tara. Make sense? They're so bad at communicating. If you have a personality disorder, you were neglected. Neglect means you lacked in communication, especially emotional communication, effective relationship communication. None. Narcissists do not know how to communicate about relationships. They don't even know how to relate to somebody, let alone communicate. Okay? So here's some of the examples. Just say something. I love that. Borderlines will do that. Toxic people. They'll just say a subject matter. Send you something. Text or something. Just here. And you're sitting here just going, okay. So now, and what I call it is, now I'm doing all the communication, right? I have to do it all. I have to go, oh, okay, you sent me this. Why did you send me this? What does this mean? What did you want? You want me to react? You want me to tell you it's this? You want me to tell you it's that? And then they get mad at you. No. They start with the one-word answers. And you explain, since they say they don't understand or no, and you give a long explanation, and they just give you a question mark. You're like, what? You don't understand any of it? So now I have to give you 2 pages of explanations? For one, stop texting. Talk. But frustrating as hell. I don't do that anymore. No. Oh, I see you have difficulty communicating. Okay? So you need to stop doing this. I'll give them a couple chances. Yeah, stop doing this. Stop just throwing out some topic that I need to talk about. And if you're not going to look at me, face me, and answer me when I talk, we don't need to talk anymore. But give them a chance if the relationship is important to you. Many people do this, and I can't stand this either. They'll ask you a question, you'll give them a nice long explanation, and they do not register it at all. At all. So why do you do this? And you go, oh, it's because of this and this and this. And sometimes like this and this, okay? And they'll go, so why did you do this? Well, at least say, oh, okay, or yeah, thanks, or yeah, I get it. Nothing. It's just right on the next thing. And you give them an answer, and right on the next thing, right on the next thing, right on, and you're like, can you acknowledge that I'm talking to you? Like, can you look at me? Can you nod? Or say, oh, okay, nothing. Just horrible communication. Awful. And then you got the grandiose, I don't need to. Shouldn't have to. I didn't have to with my mom and dad. They just catered to me. Or ignored me anyways. I don't want to get hurt. Narcissist says, I will never get hurt by anybody ever again. If that means be vulnerable, I won't be vulnerable. If I have to ask for what I want and be hurt, and you might say, no, I'm not going to ask for what I want. I'm going to trick you, fool you, manipulate you, con you, exploit you. Because they can't, their little tiny self can't get hurt. And you guys think that's confidence. Objectification. If you're an object, why would I listen to your feelings or ask you how you're feeling? If you're an object, why am I worried about emotional needs? What you want? If you're here just to serve me and I own you, why do I care what your dreams are? Who cares? Shut up and microwave my food and wash my clothes, get my food cold, cook my food. That's it. I plug you in. I gave you some money. I said hi to you. I gave you sex. Now give me. It's an exchange. That's it. And I'm better than you. So really, it's just you give me. Okay? Just be honored you're with me. You can tell everyone I'm your boyfriend, okay? I'm your husband. They'll be amazed. Could imagine acting like that. Oh, Rory again from Ohio. Hi, Rory. I really liked your video on narcissist behavior modification, better than Grey Rock. You stressed it's better to just get out, and if you can't right now, have a plan. Life is so short, even at 73. Why waste time on something that can't be fixed and is so damaging emotionally and physically? My question is, what would the rest of the plan be? For instance, and you know what? You have great concerns, Rory. But everything you listed, because I've read this already, everything you listed was law. Yeah, and I try to be real careful about, giving medical advice or legal advice, because I'm not any kind of doctor or lawyer at all. Just a professional coach. And there's some things I've learned and found out along the way. And you touched on there's different rules, different laws for different states and stuff like this. So honestly, and I'll get into it. For instance, getting a lawyer if you're elderly, an elder care specialist attorney. Some states will frown upon taking the children and leaving, so you would need to. Some are no-fault states too. Which documents you should copy. So much more information you need to gather. I always had a hand in all financial matters, so that was a plus. Any insight this we greatly appreciate it. So it's just legal stuff. Unless there's something else outside of legal questions, please ask me, Rory. But I don't want to get into anything legal. All I'm ever going to say is get a lawyer. Ask a lawyer. You guys don't need to retain a lawyer, too. You guys say, oh, I can't afford a lawyer for this or that. You can. You can. You want just a question, legal advice? Contact your state bar and you tell them what kind of an attorney you think you need, and they'll contact you immediately to an attorney. And usually it's either free or like $40. You can't afford that? I don't know what to say. Okay? And you can also hire the same attorney or another attorney for just one thing you need. I need a letter, $100. I need to know about this stuff and what to do about this stuff. Okay, we're going to have to talk a couple times, $250. Okay? So you don't need to retain a lawyer and have 10, 20 grand or retainer fee and stuff like this. Ask a lawyer. Okay? And it's important too, Rory. It's very important, the questions you had. We need to legally know what we can and can't do, or we're going to be in trouble. Whether that mean we didn't protect ourselves and now we're homeless in our car, like my last video, or that we did something wrong, we got penalized. And we don't have the money, So it's very important. I just got to be really careful about touching this. Yvonne from United Kingdom. Hi, Yvonne. Okay, so having left a 36-year abusive relationship and having to move back in with my 86-year-old narc father. Oh, no. Believe me, he's a better bet than my soon-to-be ex-husband. I gray rock my father because any conversation I have with him always within the first 2 to 5 seconds becomes all about him. It's always about him every time. How can I manage this? I hardly talk to him because it's such a stunted conversation. Oh, that's tough. So, Yvonne, I made a video about behavior modification and gray rocking just days ago. Go watch it. Any of you, go watch it, okay? There's more we can do than just gray rocking and ignoring. There's a way to change people's behaviors. With people with personality disorders, it can be harder and it can be easier. Some of the behaviors, they'll never change because they have a personality disorder and they're not even very in control of their behaviors. But some of their behaviors, like nuisance and stuff like this, can be corrected. Like a dog, like a child. And that's kind of how they are. Your narc father, and that's why you had a narc husband, so we need to heal from this. So we're going to have another narc husband. Especially while you're with your father in his house. Be extremely careful who you meet right now. I can't stress that enough. Because narc number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all going to be in your life right now, or try to be. They all want to save you. They all want to help you. They all think you're gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, sweet, sexy. Oh man, be so careful, Yvonne, okay, of who comes into your life right now, because toxic people don't come in the good times, they come during the bad times. That's where we are in life, and that's what we end up identifying with. Okay. So go watch the behavior modification. You can, he's 86. So I hope you're not too scared of him or anything. I'd imagine you're, I don't know how old you are, but you're probably in your 60s, early 60s, maybe, something like that. Maybe 50s. Stand up to him. I mean, the thing that we have to do, Yvonne, is be really good with ourselves. And this isn't about him anymore. This is about you. And we're not trying to strengthen the relationship or make it work, or you're not trying to get an apology about the past from him anymore. You're trying to have a place to live until you get out of there. Okay, so have a plan on how you're going to do that. And have a plan on how you want to behave with him. What do you want to do? Do you want to be confrontational a little bit? Do you want to put him in his place so he gets sick of it? Because if you do it bad enough, he's going to give up. He's 86. He doesn't have fight in him anymore. And I don't care how nasty and angry he is. He can't do anything, If he does anything wrong, call the police. Tell him he can't talk to you that way. It's an immediate reaction of reward and punishment. When he's sweet and nice, you find out exactly what he wants and you give him something he wants when he's sweet and nice. And then when he's bad, you do something really bad to him right away. Embarrass him. Humiliate him. It's not fun, but neither is living at that house, right? If we're not going to leave toxic house, then we may want to change a little bit of our own behaviors. There's things he's very insecure and sensitive about, aren't there? If he wants to start badgering you, that means he wants attention from you. Give him attention that he doesn't like, and he won't want your attention anymore. Okay? Come up with a plan, Yvonne. And it really helped to have somebody in your corner supporting you and helping you. I hope you do. Sad, don't do this alone. Not sure what your name is. Aline? Or Ali? That's interesting about the no, I didn't give you permission to call my family behind my back. When I confronted the narcissist about he has no... In the last video I was saying, what do you do about people, contacting your family behind your back and all that stuff, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? That's just wrong. And that's not okay. Too bad we have toxic family that will be okay with that too, right? You know, parents should never entertain their children's date partner contacting them behind their back and all that. No, 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 no. But anyways, I said no, don't do it. And this is a response. When I confronted the narcissist about he has no right to contact my family, his 75-year-old mentally response, or his 7-year-old, which is really a 5-year-old mentally response to my boundary was, it's a free country and I can contact anyone I want. It's up to them to not answer the phone. I don't think you can get any more childish than that. Unbelievable. Entitlement, grandiosity. He's not saying I can do whatever I want. He's saying I can do whatever I want to you. Because I guarantee you that piece of crap can't do anything he wants to me. He can do whatever he wants in his own room by himself. Sure, go ahead. And he can also do whatever he wants to people who allow him to. Okay? So he knows he can't do whatever he wants to other people. He knows he can do whatever he wants to you. No means no. My boundaries are you don't contact my family or friends or have your flying monkeys stalk them or me. Comprende? No, he doesn't comprehend that. Doesn't accept that, doesn't respect you, doesn't care. Now what are you going to do without threatening him? You're going to accept it, meaning we're going to accept him for who he is, but not accept the behaviors. What do we do then? I'll accept him for being so toxic, disgusting, gross. He's disrespectful. He doesn't care about me, my boundaries, my peace, my privacy, nothing. But we can't change him. And we can't allow these behaviors in our life. There's only one thing I can think of doing, is he can take his behaviors with himself and he can go bye-bye. Especially since he thinks he can do whatever he wants. His life should be very easy for him under that, what he thinks. It's going to be very hard for him. That's what I know. And Dave, don't know where you're from. Let us know your location if you can next time, Dave. Thanks. I've been thinking on how you talk about getting closure and leaving with a peaceful mind. But thinking back to this one lady friend, I remember I chose not to speak directly with her. I texted her a bunch of BS and how I was feeling and then said goodbye on the text. I walked away feeling like I had said what I wanted because I had told her how I felt, and by doing that I had also given her closure. But then she tried calling me and I sent her to voicemail. I didn't feel she needed any more from me. My question is it wrong, even though the relationship ended almost 2 years ago and it ended bad, and I mean bad, should I go back to her and offer her the opportunity for her closure? That's up to you. Do you want to? You don't have to. Wrong or right is decided by you, not me. Okay? I would think that for you to arrive at a conclusion that something is wrong means it doesn't best say who you are. It doesn't maybe give you what you need or what you want. Maybe it feels bad. It goes against what you value, your opinion. Okay? Then maybe it's wrong. But that's decided by you, Dave, not me. Okay? If you did something that felt bad, I would try to figure out a better way to do that in the future. Your question is it wrong even though the relationship ended 2 years ago? Go back to her and offer the opportunity for closure. I answered something like this last week. And you can do that if you want. The real question is why? You trying to make yourself feel better? You want to make her feel better. After 2 years, she should be feeling better. If she doesn't feel better after 2 years, there's something very wrong. And your apology ain't going to fix it. Right? Am I clear? We typically heal from relationships within 2 weeks, 30 days. If we're not, we might have CPTSD. If we're not healed from a relationship in 2 years, we're definitely not doing what we need to do. And there's severe problems going on. And it's not because the other person didn't apologize. Okay? So you don't need to do that. If there's a reason that you're doing it for them, probably don't need to. If there's a reason you're doing it for you, take their feelings into consideration. They may not want to hear from you. might stir up a lot of crap after 2 years. I don't know. I can't answer that for you, Dave. There is no wrong or right, okay? It doesn't matter. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to, don't, okay? Just take into consideration who you are. How will that make you feel, maybe? You know, how will it make them feel? They may not want to hear from you again. I don't know. I can't answer that for you. I'm sorry. But thanks. User QR7NK6GQ1 asks, down below, Natalie. I hope I'm saying your name right. It's spelled really pretty, but I've never seen it that way. And you're from Ukraine. That's why it's spelled differently than I'm used to. I think it's a Natalie. Please advise how to set a financial boundary with my diagnosed BPD girlfriend. She actively used an active passivity. Not sure if that's a correct term. Yeah. For me to do stuff for her and shift the responsibility, as well as providing financial support, buying expensive stuff, always paying for food and recreation. Simple answer, no, I'm not going to buy X perceived as offense, which elicits guilt in me for non-compliance. According to her, she's unable to find a job or work on simpler positions because of her new neurological sensitivity, hinting at me to provide for... Okay, so this is bad. And it's so common with borderlines. Logically, I do understand this will go nowhere, but guilt for setting in boundaries is strong. I'm sorry you're having guilt. So we need terms, okay? Boundaries are how you feel, but what's not okay and what must be done in a relationship with her. Think about it, figure it out, write them down, and tell her, and if she doesn't agree to them, what are you going to do? Know what you're going to do. If someone won't agree to my terms, I'm not compromising them. I said, you can't do this anymore. And you said, no, I won't agree to that. Well, they're going to continue to do it. And they won't respect my terms. It's just as bad as saying, oh yeah, I'll do it. I accept your terms, and then just keep doing it. What are you going to do? You don't need to threaten them, but you need to know what you're going to do, because this is sick. This is bad. And it's called financial exploitation. It's in 98% of all exploitative relationships, and it always starts first. And here we go. Here we are. You have a diagnosed borderline that says, I can't work because my neurological condition. That's not your responsibility. What is she going to do about it? Just exploit people? I'm sorry, this stuff makes me angry. It's parasitic. It's psychopathic. It's psychopathic. To live, to be parasitic on other people is psychopathic. I'm not calling her a psychopath. She's disgusting. Oh, I can't. That's amazing. I can't. I just got to read that again. According to her, she's unable to find a job or work on simpler positions. On simple positions, she can't do real, bottom work down here because of her neurological sensitivity, hinting at me to provide for her. Do not do it. I don't care how much you love her. She needs to find out how to take care of herself first. I'm telling you, I understand. Maybe it's legit. Maybe she can't take care of herself. Don't just do it. Don't just do it. She needs to find a way to take care of herself. You are in Ukraine. I don't know how much the state helps. Bad, bad, bad. I've made many videos about this. I just did recently. Go back a couple of videos and you'll see. Financial exploitation. So, we keep funds separate. She has hers, you have yours. If you decide to get married someday, you keep yours separate. If you're going to be the breadwinner someday, if I don't know what your name is. Oh, Natalie. If you're going to be the breadwinner in a marriage, okay, but what is she going to do? And we need to know, we need to write it down, we need to tell each other, we need to agree to it. So, Natalie, what are your terms? Figure out what that is. If it makes you uncomfortable doing things for someone else, what are you going to do about that? Keep doing them? Don't. Don't do things that make you feel bad. Don't do things. And you said, I feel guilty if I don't take care of her. No, you're going to feel much worse when she walks away from you after 5 years of investment, after you spend $500,000, hopefully just $100,000. That's when you're going to feel bad and guilty for what you did to yourself, for how you left yourself, for not taking care of yourself, for ignoring how bad it felt every time you did this for her. The guilt for not taking care of her, you'll get over that. But this is gross. It's ugly. It's got to stop. You can go to couples counseling. She needs help, and I hope that she's in help. Diagnosed borderline girlfriend who now says I can't work because of my neurological sensitivity. I hope she's getting really good help. And I hope she's doing everything they tell her to do, because if she's not, get rid of her. Gone. Gosh. This is going to ruin your life. They're good at it. And it's happening right now. It's what she's doing right now. She needs to claim disability. How'd she get here? How'd she get this far? Who took care of her before you? She ever worked? Ever? I don't understand. She have family? Somewhere else to go? Oh, I just feel so bad for you. I'm sorry, Natalie. And I hope I'm saying your name right. Good luck. Hire someone. It'll really help. I can help you with this if you need help. You can find me at davidnavarez.com. Hire somebody, maybe. Maybe put your money there. But this can't go on like this. It just can't go on like this. I get situations like this, and I'm like, it cannot continue like this. Something has to give. Something has to change. Good luck. And I'm sorry about the war over there. I'm sorry we keep funding it and continuing it. Hopefully we stop spending all of our billions of dollars to continue your war for you. I'm sure it's not fun. I'm sure you would like it to stop too. Sally, don't know where you're from, let us know. Can you explain family enmeshment, as I think what you're saying, and then what's the difference between boundaries and rules? Family enmeshment. We have the purely narcissistic parenting. That's where it starts. Me more. You guys may not see that. If you have an enmeshed family, you might not think my parents are very narcissistic. There's no boundaries. Boundaries are where my feelings stop and yours start. And if there's none, then we all have one. We're like one unit together, totally codependent. And anybody who doesn't believe our narrative that we're great and we have no problems because we don't fix our problems, we don't address our problems, I accuse you and you accuse me, and it's like this little circle, and as long as nobody fixes problems, we stay just like this forever. It's great. And we have this total narrative, this false narrative, right? And anybody that comes along and doesn't support or believe this false narrative is a threat to our family, and you must get out. Get away from us. It's disgusting. Mom's friends with daughter's friends. Dad hits on dad's friends. I mean, it's just sick. Sick. Family enmeshment. I feel a certain way and I blame everybody else, and everybody else in the family is supposed to take care of it for me instead of me. Ugh. That's family enmeshment. What's the difference between boundaries and rules? Boundaries are your comfort zone that you are communicating to somebody, and it's a measure of your self-worth. So I want to feel good in a relationship, and you don't know until I tell you. You're making me feel uncomfortable. You're too far away, come closer. You're too close, step back. Those are boundaries. It's a measure of my self-worth for me to speak up. Rules are for games, right? Rules, laws. I talked about terms. I always talk about terms, ask more questions about terms. But every relationship must have terms. I can't imagine a relationship without any terms. And they should be spoken about and agreed upon, because if they're not, it's done. Okay? I hope I made that clear on the difference. Thanks, Sally. Let me know. Let us know where you are. My reply to you is boundaries are to explain to others where you want them. Rules are to be followed and broken. Boundaries are asking, and rules are controlling and threatening. Okay? And that's it, guys. That's all the questions. Thank you. Keep them coming, okay? Let me know what you think of my answers down below. Ask more questions. Just keep asking more questions, and I'll do this next Monday, all right, if there's some questions on there. Thank you, all of you guys, and I'll see you soon. Love yourself first. Anybody wants coaching, Find me at daviddemars.com. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Bye, guys.